Big Belle. Belle is a new engine to the island. She wants to make lots of new friends. She especially wants to meet Toby, who she hears has a bell, just like her. Thomas tells Belle Toby lives in Islesdale End, so she toots off to find him. When Toby meets Belle, he is rather scared of her. He says he'd prefer to stay and listen to the birds than race up Gordon's Hill with her. When Belle races off, Toby hides in a siding, but Belle soon finds him. He says he's too old to be racing, so they set off for the farm. Toby is happier at the farm. He likes the pigs. Belle remembers that pigs like mud, and so she starts spraying water onto their earth patch. Toby is terrified. He's never seen an engine squirt water before. He puffs off as fast as he can to hide in a siding again. Belle is still sure they can be friends, so suggests they go to Maithwaite Station. When they arrive, Belle rings her bell very loudly, scaring both Toby and all the people on the platform. They've never heard anything so loud. Toby runs away again, leaving Belle alone at the station. Belle is very sad. She only wanted to make some new friends. She is certain that Toby will not want to be friends now, after she scared him so much. Belle decides to set off to Islesdale End to see if Toby will talk to her. There, Belle hears the birds sing and thinks they are amazing. Toby sees she's not so scary, and they head to the farm again. Toby takes Belle to meet the pigs before she asks if they can go back to Maithwaite Station to see everyone. As they pull in, Toby and Belle ring their bells gently, and Toby introduces everyone proudly to his new friend, a very happy Belle. Here's Thomas at the docks with Mr. Bubbles and the Fat Controller. These two pictures look similar, but there's actually 5 differences in the picture on the right. Can you spot them all in 30 seconds? Don't worry if you need more time, just pause the video. We're halfway there. And here's all 5 differences. How many did you manage to spot? Oh, very well done. Now, here's a story about the time Terence and Trevor competed in a farm show. Terence and Trevor. One morning, Thomas took Terence out on a flat truck. Terence had asked to go to a country station, and as they pulled up, he explained why. There's a farm show this afternoon, and Trevor and I are starting a tug-of-war. Thomas chuckled. Good luck, he said, puffing off. A while later, Thomas passed Trevor. I'm going slowly so I don't wear down my new tyre treads, said Trevor. They grip well on soft ground, so they'll be perfect for the tug-of-war. Thomas laughed again. Good luck, he tooted, going on his way. That afternoon the show began, and a crowd gathered around Terence and Trevor. Oh, I'm nervous, peeped Trevor.
It's tractor against engine,
a man with a megaphone cried.
Who's going to win?
Terence and Trevor were joined together with a strong iron bar instead of a rope. With their strength, a rope would easily snap. The man with the megaphone cried,
Take the strain!
And the tug-of-war began. Suddenly, Trevor went crashing backwards into a huge pile of haystacks. Nobody knew what had happened until someone in the crowd shouted, Terence was pushing instead of pulling. It was Terence's job to help pull Trevor out. He heaved with all his might, but the whole pile of haystacks kept moving. The crowd had to help, but they had a lot of fun digging out Trevor. "No more tug-of-war for me," sputtered Trevor. "Giving rides is much safer." The island of Sodor is home to many engines of different sizes, shapes and colours, and they all have different jobs to do. Today it's time to meet Toby. Toby is a steam tram and is one of the oldest engines on the railway. He has wooden slats on the outside painted brown. He can go along roadside tramways, unlike some engines, so he can be really useful. Did you know? Toby is a steam tram and was brought in to help when Thomas and the other steam engines weren't allowed to run on the tram tracks. "Stop that racket!" bellowed the Fat Controller when Toby got a new whistle. Visiting the pigs at Farmer Trotter's farm is something Toby enjoys doing. He has been painted many different shades of brown during his life. Toby helps run workers to and from the quarry. Toby's wheels are hidden by his side plates. This is a cow catcher. It helps Toby move objects on the track out of his way. Toby has two carriages, Henrietta and Victoria. Henrietta has worked with Toby for many years, whereas Victoria joined the team more recently after being found and restored. Steam on stamps. James hissed and huffed crossly in the yard. He had to shunt trucks full of coal and ash, and he was getting very dirty. His paintwork in dome no longer shone. Just as he was getting crosser, the Sodor mail van pulled up outside the station. Tom Tipper, the postman, had some letters for the Fat Controller. "There's to be a special new Sodor stamp," he told James. "I hope my van is pictured on it." "Well, I won't be chosen looking like this," sulked James. Just then, Emily steamed by with the express. "If Gordon's at the works, I should pull the express," James snorted, annoyed. Suddenly, a man hurried onto the platform. "Oh no, I've missed the train and I've got an urgent meeting," he gasped as he sat down miserably on a bench. "If you don't mind a grubby engine, I can take you," called James to the man. The Fat Controller agreed as all the other engines were busy, and the man climbed into the guard's van. James quickly caught up with Emily, who looked rather worried. "I'm running out a puff on Gordon's Hill," she cried. James kindly drew up behind her and gave her a push. A few weeks later, Tom Tipper arrived with another letter. It had the new Sodor stamp on it, with a picture of James. "The passenger you were carrying when you helped Emily was the postmaster," explained the Fat Controller. "He chose you because you were so useful." "A special Sodor stamp needs a special red engine," James glowed proudly. Fun fact. The first ever stamp in the world was made in England. In 1840, over 150 years ago, the penny black was introduced. However, a year later this black colour was changed to red, so it made any markings easier to see. Now, every country all over the world uses their own stamps. Someone forgot to shut the gate at the farm. Help Farmer Trotter round up the pigs by helping to count how many are on the track. How many sheep can you spot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sheep. How many carriages is Henry pulling? Let's count them. 1, 2. Henry has 2 coaches. Now we've sorted them out, it's time to help the farmer with counting the pigs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of pigs. Finally, can you count the farmer? 1. There's one farmer, and he's called Farmer Trotter. He's a pig farmer. I'm sure he's grateful for your help. Well done, everyone. Now it's time for our final story. Pecking order. One bright morning, Bulgy drove busily through the lanes of Sodor. Selling fruit and vegetables isn't the same as carrying passengers, he thought, but it's better than being a henhouse like I used to be. Here comes Bulgy, called a little boy, who watched from the window of his home as the bus pulled up nearby. Other people were already walking along the lane towards the big bus with their shopping bags. Rosy red apples and lovely ripe pears, beeped Bulgy. I have all kinds of fruit and vegetables. Before long, all Bulgy's customers walked away with their bags full. Time to drive to the next village and more customers, said Bulgy. He was just about to go when he saw someone in a field close by. Oh, there's another customer. I'd better wait, said Bulgy. As he waited, Bulgy saw the man wasn't moving. He stood perfectly still. A farmer came hurrying across the field, waving his arms. Shoo! He shouted as lots of birds flew up and away from the field. The farmer came over to talk to Bulgy. I can't keep those hungry birds off my young crops, he sighed. That scarecrow I made doesn't fool them. It fooled me, beeped Bulgy, who had an idea. I know how the scarecrow can save your crops. He grinned. Bulgy told his driver, who gave the farmer some damaged produce from the fruit and vegetable boxes. Both men carried them over to the scarecrow and set to work. Soon they returned to watch with Bulgy. In no time the birds came back. Then some pecked at the scarecrow's new cabbage head. It had half a coconut on top as a funny hat and another tasty treat. Others began pecking at the scarecrow's corncob fingers and at the little bags of nuts hanging from its arms. The scarecrow even had a carrot nose and plums for eyes. Well done, Bulgy, grinned the farmer. That stopped those birds eating my crops. They're much too busy pecking at the scarecrow now. He just needed some fruit and veg too, chuckled Bulgy. It's the first time I had a scarecrow customer, he giggled. If you liked what you heard, please consider leaving a like as well as commenting and subscribing. See you all again soon. Bye bye.